What's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to a quick little update from myself. It's been a little while since I've gone live, and just before I'm about to go and eat lunch, I thought, you know what, I'm feeling inspired. I'm going to drop some nuggets, hopefully help a few of you guys out, and get some cool stuff in your hands. Now, before I dive into that, though, if you do happen to catch this, if you are on the live, if you could just smash the heart button like you were trying to break your phone. Drop a hashtag live. That would be very, very much appreciated. It just helps the information get out to more people, and I can help more folks out with this amazing thing. Also, if you're playing catch up, you're watching one of the replays, if you just hashtag replay, that would be, again, very, very much appreciated. Now, I can't see your beautiful faces. I think there is a little link above for the old StreamYard. If you feel so inclined, you want me to see who I'm dealing with, then that would be awesome. Feel free to click on that. And last but not least, I'm going to do my pitching at the start of this. So I'm rolling out for December. I've been basically doing offers like a maniac, and I intend on doing 100 offers in December. Now I'm at about 97, 98, and so I'm nearly there, real close. And so what I've decided to do is do a full breakdown of those offers. That is a list of all the content that I've put out, the psychology behind why I decided to do it. Also going to go into, I guess, a breakdown of the different templates that you can use as part of your business. So it means that come January 1st, or well, probably the 2nd, I think, with the time zones, you'll have access to all of that. And what that'll allow you to do is basically deploy a lot of these offers in your own business. So literally plug and play offers in your own business, and then you can basically just take that information and run with it, do what you will. Now, it's going to be selling for $100. You can get access between now and the end of the year for just $20.24. Hop on it. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and that is going to be available up until the end of the year. That's all gone. So anyways, what I wanted to do today is reiterate a post that I put out. And there's a link there, by the way. A post that I put out the other day, and it's something that I feel is somewhat overlooked for a lot of marketers. And what it is I'm talking about the actual numbers behind your offers, behind your lead flow, behind your business in general. And so when we're becoming affiliates, when we're becoming coaches, things like that, a lot of the time we will craft a nice offer, we'll learn how to sell some stuff, we'll learn how to put out great content that resonates with our ideal audience, all of which is great, by the way. But one of the issues is that we're often not taking into consideration what the actual numbers behind the business are, and what we need to be thinking of in order to hit the goals that we set out for ourselves. So I'm just going to share my screen. I've got a little doc that I'm going to go through. I'm going to add a little bit of stuff along the way, and of course, any questions, just hit me up in the chat there. Let's rock and or roll. Share my entire screen. Hopefully you guys should see that. Awesome. Cool. Right. So basically, if you're wanting to make any cash online at all, so I've used somewhat of an aggressive goal. I don't think it is personally, but I feel like $10,000 per month is so cliche these days. And so whatever your goal is, it could be 5,000. Really doesn't matter. I put 20 to 40 because that's the range I've sort of been sitting in for a little while. It has dipped below that, has also gone above that at certain times, but that's kind of like the range, generally speaking, for the last couple of years at least anyway. Looking to more than double that next year as well. Very, very much looking forward to it. Big announcements and really, really cool things to come. And so the question to yourself is something you need to consider is, okay, how many sales do I need to make of whatever it is I'm promoting in order to hit my goals? How many sales do I need to make? Now, in a typical marketplace, in a typical marketer, I should say, sorry, they're going to have a high ticket, ideally, and potentially recurring, and potentially a low ticket to offset the high ticket, right? So the low ticket is designed to solve some of the issues that are able to be resolved within the high ticket offer itself, right? So it could be just a singular component of the high ticket. However, if we look at that and we go, okay, well, what revenue can I create for myself as a coach or a consultant or affiliate marketer by selling this particular product, and let's start with the high ticket stuff first. Always work from the top down with this stuff, right? And so therefore, if you start to think about that, you're like, okay, well, I'm aiming to hit, I don't know, 10K, 5K, 20K, 40K, whatever it is. Start to consider how many sales you actually need in order to hit that. Now, if you're selling, say, for example, a 5K coaching offer, then to hit 20K, you only need 4 sales, right? So 1 a week, 4 sales. Not huge when you start to go into high ticket stuff. And this is why a lot of folks are like, oh, but I love low ticket. Well, you're not going to hit the same revenue goals with low ticket unless 2 things happen. You either have a huge audience or the capacity to drive a lot of volume through that, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So if we start to look at, like, say, for example, aiming just for the high ticket stuff to start with, and we're looking at 20K, just to put it out there for argument's sake, do we know how many sales or how many leads we need to get to end up converting and making that revenue that we need? Right. So if we go with a conservative percentage, and I chose 5% just because it's relatively conservative. You go lower if you want, 1%. It depends on the offer. It depends on what you're selling. It depends on your mechanism of sale, what your percentage conversion is going to be from a lead or a customer into a coaching client, for example. Really depends. But let's just say it's 5%. The other thing to consider is, do you know what the total value is of the offers that you've got out there, right? So do you have enough offers out there in terms of value in order to even come close to your profit target? And for most marketers, this is going to be a bit of a wake-up call, because you start thinking, shit, I've got like maybe $3,000 worth of offers out there. And the thing with that is, yeah, that's great. But then you're also hoping that you have a very high strike ratio. You're hoping that you have a very high percentage conversion rate on your offers if you're only got a small amount out. So this is one of the problems, because most marketers aren't even considering these types of numbers when they get out there and start thinking about the stuff. And so I've gone with 5%, like I say. Could be higher with the right ingredients. If you've got, for example, my group conversion method, then you'd be looking at a significantly higher percentage into coaching clients. But conservatively, let's just work with 5%. So what that then means is that if, for example, you're aiming for 20K, and hopefully my mathematics is okay here, but effectively, if you're doing that and you're making $1,000 per sale, and you want to hit 20K with a 5% conversion rate, then effectively you're going to need $400,000 worth of offers out there in the marketplace at any one time. $400,000, which is pretty crazy to think of. Now, you might be freaking out at that point thinking, does that mean I have to have 400 offers out there? And so here's kind of like the cool thing about this, right, is that what tends to happen is that this is a cumulative thing. It builds up over time. Yeah. So you might have month number 1, you might put out 10 offers, just for argument's sake. You might end up closing 2 clients, right? Which then means that my mathematics are out of whack, because it's a 20% conversion rate. But if you have a mechanism of sale that is like on the phone, for example, you're likely to get those types of figures. In fact, I'd say a conversion rate of that kind would be pretty damn low. You'd be looking more at 30 to 40% as a kind of a baseline figure. Anyways, point being is that, say you got 10 offers out there, month number 1, you got another 10 month number 2, you got another 10 month number 3. Now, bearing in mind, there is going to be an average TTS, time to sale. And what that means is that if someone enters your world and they dive in and they have a look at all your stuff and they checking out your content, things like that, and then they might decide that the timing isn't right for them. They might be needing to get some cash together in order to jump into that thing. It might be around Christmas time. They might be deciding not to do anything up until the new year, right? So it can be purely just a timing play. And that is something that's very hard to calculate. But what you'll find is that your lead flow typically will take a certain amount of time as an average to convert. But then we also need to consider that there's going to be outliers to every rule. And so, for example, I've got people in my audience that have taken 500 and something days, like 570 something days in order to convert to a high ticket client, right? So it can take a very, very long time. Of course, there are exceptions to both rules. I've also had folks that have jumped into my audience and have purchased high ticket stuff from me within 27 hours. From never heard of me before, they like the cut of my jib, they go through my stuff and they convert, right? So what we're aiming to do though is over time, accumulating this cumulative approach to putting offers out there. Because then what it means is that over time, we've got $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 worth of offers in the marketplace, knowing full well that thanks to Chet Holmes and his amazing book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, we know, due to studies on the subject, that there's around about 3% of our marketplace that are ready, willing, and able to make a purchasing decision right now. And so in order for us to build up our marketing to such a point where we know, okay, awesome, like over the next sort of 6 months, we're going to have a cumulative couple of $100,000 out there in terms of offers in the marketplace, knowing full well that, month 1, you might close 3%, month 2, you might close 3%, month 3, you might close 3%, or whatever it is, it might be 5% of your lead flow, whatever, right? Knowing full well that because that accumulates and because the timing might not be right for person A on month 1, but month 7 is ideal timing for them, and because you've just maintained that relationship with your content, helping them out with stuff, give them free lead magnets, whatever it is, the timing, bang, just happens to be the right offer, the right place, the right time, they decide to buy, right? And so that means, as marketers, if we start to think about this high-level stuff, then we can start to work out, okay, reverse engineer our goals a little bit. I don't really see that many marketers talking about this type of stuff when it comes to, I guess, the top-down approach from a conversion basis, things like that. But if you start looking at the stuff in this manner, then you're going to be really, really well versed compared to so many other marketers out there. Because what most marketers are not thinking of, like I say, is great. Well, I've learned how to craft an offer now. That's cool. And I've learned how to build an audience. That's also cool. And I've got some cool content out there. But like, what is the actual value of the offers I've got out there? How many offers have I actually made? Now, couple little things that I'll conclude with on this one is, for, like I say, the month of December, I've been putting out multiple offers every day, and I've been like sometimes promoting different things at the same time. So I'll put out a story, and then I'll have this thing, and I'll have another thing for one-on-one coaching thing there, and then I'll have a low ticket masterclass thing that I'll be promoting, or like a couple of guides and a workshop thing. It really depends. And what I can tell you from that is, it's been an amazing experience to have that intentionality behind it, right? So I haven't kept track of the metrics in terms of how many, like the value of the offers I've had out. What I can tell you though is that my revenue has increased. I've added an extra 11 grand in additional revenue to my monthly just from doing that. I had my customer base go from, I think it was like 16 or 17 last month, which wasn't huge, obviously, to over 70 new customers this month alone, right? And the month isn't finished yet either, which is really, really exciting. Now, if you're an affiliate, you're thinking, well, how does that relate to me? The same thing applies. You need to get a little bit dynamic with this stuff, right? If you had a cadence on your promotional cycles and you went, okay, between now and let's say the 10th of January, I'm going to be pushing a particular item, and I'm going to wrap around that particular affiliate offer. I'm going to wrap around a really cool little coaching offer as part of that. If someone jumps into my high ticket, I'm going to maybe look at sending them some sort of New Year's gift, maybe, I don't know, a microphone, some headphones, a webcam, or a bottle of their favorite liquid refreshment, whatever it is. When you start thinking about this stuff in that dynamic way, and especially if you leverage the things that you have at your disposal, which we all have access to if we've got an audience, is time and pressure, right? Kind of like a diamond, time and pressure. So think about it this way. If you have a hard deadline that the thing has to happen between now and then you're going to remove it, and you are creating your own supply and demand by limiting the supply of your bonuses or your coaching, whatever it is, and you've got a hard deadline and you market towards that deadline, and you have intentionality about picking up the right clientele between now and then, guess what? You're going to make sales, right? But at the very least, here's the other thing that's going to happen. The very, very least is you're going to have a volume of offers out in the marketplace. You're going to have a certain dollar figure of the offers out in the marketplace. So even if you don't convert at that point, you still got those offers out there. And then it might be just a timing thing. Folks will come back later on and buy it, right? Really, really important. So anyway, that's my little ramble for today. I just wanted to throw some of that stuff out there for you guys, and really get some of you to start thinking about this stuff, because it's just, like I say, it's not something I see that many folks talking about. And if you can wrap your head around this stuff, if you can go out there and start considering like what type of metrics do I need to have in order to get the desired income that I want, then it's going to expand your consciousness into that a little bit. What it also does mean is that you set an intentionality behind what you're doing as well. Because then instead of going, oh, well, I hope I make some money today, it's kind of cool. You're like, okay, no, actually, I've got the numbers. I now know that in order for me to hit 10K, 20K, whatever it is, I need this much in the total value of my offers out there. And once I get that out there, then I just need to continue, keep marketing to those folks as well, right? So yeah, that's it. Any questions on the back of that? Does that hopefully help a few of you guys out? Give me a couple of minutes. Appreciate everyone hopping on, by the way. I know it's a very, very bizarre time of day and night for a lot of folks. Lemonade, cool, refreshing drink. Cool. We're all smashing it up. Awesome. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for commenting, those folks as well. Always appreciate you guys. So yeah, go and as part of your goal setting for the new year, take some of the stuff, start thinking about the volume of offers you want to put out there, and then also start thinking about the number of leads that you're going to need in order to hit those figures as well. When you do, good things are going to happen, right? Anyway, on that note, you guys have an amazing 2024. I really can't wait to see some awesome stuff flying out from you guys. And yeah, let me know if I can help with anything. Have a good one.